Today, Precarious plays
Phantom Brave. Before I start laying waste, because I know that waste laying was promised,
It was.
items also have confine statistics.
Oh.
So if you look at the mid-left of the screen, you can see where it says confine. This is usually until the player goes out of the way to break it themselves.
Yeah.
This is usually fairly intuitive. So if I were to tell you that I was going to confine a phantom to this rock,
Yes.
what would you expect to happen? Statistically, how would it modify them if they were to absorb characteristics of this rock?
I would expect them to get 2 purple, whatever purple means.
No. That's protection. That's a bonus from this rock. This rock is sending HP heal and reinforce.
Okay, that's where the gray lines are going. I see.
Right. That's unrelated.
So,
Just based on that rock, if you were to, think about it. If you were to remake a person out of rocks, how would they
I would
change?
assume that they would be less vulnerable to attacks.
But maybe a
Maybe a
little
little
bit
slower.
There you did it.
Yay!
That's exactly right. Also dumber, but I don't know if I agree. Oh well, I guess dumb as rocks, huh?
Yeah.
So whenever you confine a phantom to a rock, attack, defense, and resistance go up, intelligence and speed go down. This tree, its speed down, intelligence and resistance and HP up a little bit.
Okay.
This weed, resistance and speed go up, attack goes down.
I see. So everything has its own set of modifiers that you can use in combination with the characters that you are confining. The phantoms, I should use the words that they use. The phantoms that you are confining to these objects, including your weapon, so you can just drop that shit and then boop somebody in there and then pick it up and then swing it again?
Well, you could pick it up and swing it again, but much more beneficially, you could just forge an item to have really high confine attributes.
Oh, so that they would stick around longer.
No, just so they'll be more powerful.
Oh, okay.
Because remove is not the same thing as confine.
Right. Sorry.
It's a lot of jargon. I think that you're
That's why I'm
adapting
trying to
remarkably well.
That's why I'm trying to use the words that they use, because that's the fastest way to learn a new pile of interactions that clearly works on its own logic. Is to just, what words are you using? And I will use them to mean the same things that you mean. Like, if you told me that was chicken, I'd be like, alright, it's chicken. And what does chicken mean? A thing that has a stick on the bottom that you can teleport somebody into and gives you certain bonuses. Okay, so we're gonna call it chicken. That's fine.
So now let me explain how attacks work. This game doesn't truly have, it doesn't really have like a basic attack. I guess strike, but even then, I don't know. I think strike works on the same system.
Yeah.
Yeah, strike does work on the same system.
So it's its own thing.
Yeah, so basically, and I think that there are characters that don't have strike. Oh yeah, like she doesn't have strike because she has shock instead. So every move is some sort of special attack.
Right.
And they all contribute to the experience meter of that move. But what's more than that, they contribute to the overall experience of that character's familiarity with that school.
Okay. So, hold up here.
Yes.
Let me review. Let's say I wanted to make Marona really great at Leafy Plant School.
Yes.
I would then use Leafy Plant moves as often as possible.
Yes, and then
Because they would level up the Leafy Plant moves themselves, each individual move, as well as my entire ability with the whole school of that type of Leafy Plant magic.
Right, and now,
Okay.
that was very astute.
Okay.
So, if you see, right now I have 4 out of 4 SP for hearts,
Okay.
and it's rated as an A. And what that means is that Marona progresses most quickly, will progress very quickly in that school. So I'm going to use this free healing ability called Heal Light.
Yeah.
And now, that's how much experience I got for using that once.
So that's essentially like a gauge of her talent with each of the schools.
Right, and then what happens here is that as the experience meter fills, I will gain more maximum SP, which will eventually allow me to use... So, here. Heal. Heal costs 2 SP.
Yeah.
Right now, Morona can only do that twice.
Yeah.
Pretty soon, she'll be able to use it basically infinitely, right? She'll be able to use it so often that the battles will end before she is in danger of running out.
So wait, are you equal to all of your phantoms now? Do they have the same sort of stats? Do they have the same menu?
Morona doesn't have remove because she doesn't have to be confined.
Because she's the only thing there that's not possessing something.
Yes, she is. This is another thing. It's another thing. So, you know how I was talking about before how NIS, they screw with the conventions of the genre?
Yeah.
She is essentially the base panel from Disgaea personified.
I know. I'm getting that. So if she's gone, you can't teleport in any more people.
Right.
But if she's gone, does the map end?
I can't remember. I think it
Like-
creates a high stakes scenario where
You either have to win with whoever's there in whatever state that they're in, or you lose it all.
I think so. I think that's
Well,
how you get a
knowing
game
you,
over.
you've probably never freaking seen Morona get any more than a Band-Aid worthy injury because
No, well, because it's Disgaea S and sometimes Disgaea-esque. And sometimes you can stumble into a bit of a difficulty spike.
Yeah.
I've lost this game before, I'm sure.
Yeah, but do you remember what happens to Morona?
No.
Okay, so not often enough, clearly.
Fire.
That's
Dead.
cool.
Yeah, very powerful.
This pretentious book, snobby book,
Yeah,
right?
this snobby book.
This snobby book is full of fire. This is delightful. I hope that this doesn't get grating, because right now this is fun.
And then the slime picks up a tree, and it's like, I don't know if I'm okay with this anymore.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm gonna have Morona do a shoot.
This is just straight up fun.
And this is another thing that's cool about NIS games is Morona is, if you look at her and you are only familiar with other games of this style, you're like, oh, so she's like the group healer. She's the white mage.
Yeah.
And you might think possibly nothing else of her. But I know that Morona can be just as much of a badass fighter as everyone else. You just have to use the right kind of skill.
Uh-huh.
So by the time I get up to some of like the jar skills or the crystal skills, oh yeah, I'm sorry. That's one of the most important
I was
things.
gonna say, what?
Let me see here.
You got 2 minutes.
That's plenty of time.
Okay.
So that's HP. Okay, no, I know who should use that. Got it. So let me see if I can't set this up. So I'm going to pick up this, and then I'm going to throw it here. That was a little too far. And then just to get the experience, I'm going to... That's one thing. That you remember how I was trying to... Actually, no, you played more Final Fantasy II than I think any other Final Fantasy that
Yeah, I have, which is hard to explain.
It is not a popular one, but I think I sold it really well because it's one of my favorites because I understand it, and it is a game that improves dramatically depending on the version that you're playing and your understanding of the systems.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I'm going to throw down my book, and now I'm going to lift this tree.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm going to use... No, I can't get there. It's fine. I'll bully this one, this knocked out one, to make the point.
Okay.
So, it makes some sense that things that are obviously supposed to be like fantasy weapons, like spell books and swords,
Yeah.
have special skills that are for attacking.
Yeah.
Naturally occurring objects like this tree, also have special attacks.
Oh my gosh. Oh, wow. Okay.
So now you can see that her capacity to use thorns and her nature magic filled up a little bit there, right?
Right. So, going back for a second, you said something about crystal skills?
Right. That's why I was like, oh, I should explain that. So whenever I find a crystal in the environment, if I can manage to take one home with me, Morona can use it to learn powerful, like, laser beam attacks, because that's what they decided would be appropriate for, like a shiny, fancy rock.
Now, is that a different school of magic, or is that within one of the schools of magic we already know?
That's within one of the schools of magic.
Is it the lightning one?
I can't remember. It's one of the ones that she's skilled at, which I think is why I remember it being good.
So these crystals, they're just objects, like trees or rocks or whatever, but
Right.
they're just really nice objects that you want to collect because they're good for stuff.
It's specifically, I mean, it's not any more fancy than just rock. Whenever I say, like, crystal, I just mean like a geo.
Like shiny rock.
Shiny rock, yeah.
So it's just stuff. It's all stuff, and you can use it for different things, and it's all better or worse depending on the context.
Right.
This is exciting. I like that. That feels very fair.